Jerry Rossio.
That felt so good, I'm going to do that again. That's good. Thank you. I want to take, just before I make opening comments, to just make two quick recognitions of people in the audience. And that is Jim Bettinger, ex-prisoner of war in Vietnam. Let's give him a round of applause for his service. Going 766 in Vietnam, thank God, and he survived. That and came back to be a contributing member of San Diego's economy for veterans. We appreciate that. And then Lori's out. Okay, Roy, please, thank you for voting for the Aspire Center the other day, part of the 7-0 shout out that we got to get the Aspire Center going, for helping OAF and OAF veterans here in San Diego. Thank you very much for your vote and support for veterans. Well, congratulations on the military service that the Class 33 of REBOOT has accomplished. You have done something now that's really unique in San Diego. Only 33 classes of your peers exist out there. 500 of you around the city now are REBOOT graduates. So you have the tools, the experience, now the knowledge, and the work habits that are exceptional. Your job right now is to get those tools, those job exceptional skills you have, and go out and put them to work. It's on you now. It's on you now. And we really encourage you to do that. The continual adjustments you're going to have to make after your military life to civilian life, and now continuing to adjust to civilian life, is truly unique, I think, in San Diego. This is a great military town. And as she mentioned in my introduction, I've worked here more than 20 years, seen the history of Gulf War I, now Gulf War II, and all the changes going on in the veterans community. This is interesting because you're now among the fastest growing minority in the country. 2.5 million or so active duty, even when you throw in the Guard and Reserve. 25 million living veterans. That's 27 million people in a country of 330 million people. That's about 8% of the population that have either wear a uniform or have ever worn a uniform for military service. Difficulty is going to be, over time, what happens when this war in Afghanistan and finally the war in Iraq wind down. If you look at the history of what's happened in the U.S. military, World War I, World War II, Korea, and post-Vietnam, America gets amnesia. Veterans have done their job, the country's secure, we continue to go on, and yet veterans' benefits tend to shrink. So the issue for you will be to make sure that you make sure 100 people understand your service to get out there and advocate for veterans' benefits. The history, as I mentioned before, had to do with what happens when people leave the war theater, and what happens when the war is in, what happens in the population. San Diego being the kind of town that it is, and she mentioned my different assignments. I worked in Michigan, Oklahoma, Wisconsin, New Orleans, Iowa, Massachusetts, 4 times in California. And away from San Diego, I can tell you, people don't think much about military service. You get to the places that are out there, the ones I mentioned, war is something that belongs to servicemen and women, the country's moving on to other things. So as volunteers, you have done a terrific job of stepping up when your country needed you, and you've done a great job in the military service. Now part of your challenge is going to be to remind people that the veterans are still out there defending freedom every day. People in harm's way right now. You need to keep telling people that. San Diego is unique, and I mentioned different places I've lived, and it's unique because we have an SD MAC, we have a United Veterans Council, we have a Warrior to Soulmate program, we have a California Veterans Legal Task Force, we have a REBOOT program, we have a 211 courtesy call program, we have a stand down, and we have a San Diego Veterans Coalition. Those are things that were not generated by the federal government, not generated by a veteran service organization necessarily, but by people that wanted to continue the mission of service to veterans after they left military service and joined, formed, volunteer, or nonprofit groups to make sure that veterans benefits still existed and that people continue to understand that the needs of veterans continue to change over time. So the specifics you can do, I think, from this today is to stay in touch with the REBOOT classmates. Again, you've got 500 colleagues. Make sure that you know if they're getting in trouble sometime. There are all sorts of people you can hand them off to. That's why the coalition exists. We had almost 100 partners now in different backgrounds, healthcare and benefits and legal task force and education and the like. And you've got to contact Maurice and myself and other people who want to help you. Make sure you get into that safety net to get the needs for yourself and your family met. Clarence Sellers talked to you the other day from the VA hospital, correct? Write this number down or burn it in your brain, 858-642-6470. The most eligible benefits you have right off the bat without even applying for benefits, if you serve the military service, honorable discharge, and you serve in the combat zone, you get 5 years of free care just by showing up. Don't miss that benefit. I get my care at the VA San Diego right now after a long time, and I can tell you, having worked there nearly 20 years in 3 or 4 different jobs, it's a great place to get health care delivery done. We have clinics all over the area, Escondido to El Centro, Chula Vista, Oceanside, and Lake. And the people there have a great attitude to want to serve veterans. About half the staff that are there right now are veterans themselves, and they want to continue that service to other veterans. One other thing I'd ask you to do, and you look like you might be this situation, maybe not. But one day, if you're married and have kids, your kids want to go into college, don't ignore the California Tuition Fee Waiver Program. That's a benefit you get if you're service connected. It's a state of California benefit. It's the only state in the country that I know that has this benefit, and it gives you free tuition at the UCs of the Cal State systems or the community colleges, which is a tremendous asset to have. You've got kids in college, they got 3 right now, so believe me, it makes a difference in my life. It'll make a difference in your life as well. If you want to read the history of the Veterans Coalition, this is a really good time, Maurice. But in today's North County Times, there's a whole story about how we founded the Veterans Coalition 3.5 years ago. I didn't know this was going to be in the paper today, but there it is. Okay? So it's really a nice piece. John Stryker Meyer, who's a Special Forces combat guy out of the Army in Vietnam, wrote the story. It's very accurate. Take a look at it if you get a chance to see it. It really tells a good story about how the coalition came to be 3.5 years ago. When you look for a job, I see Pat Riley, retired Navy, who's with me on the internship program for the Veterans Employment Task Force, which Maurice and I co-chair together. We know that there's at least 10 reasons why to hire veterans. Reason number 10, it's not quite like David Letterman, but close. Global perspective. Military employees have experience that directly relate to current world events. That's number 10. Number 9, on time, all the time. Military employees know that every second counts. Mission number 8, first-class image. Military employees understand that professional appearance is a must. Number 7, calm under pressure. Military employees are resilient and know how to handle stress both on and off the job. Number 6, one of my favorites, can-do attitude. Military employees possess critical skills to understand that nothing is impossible. Physical conditioning. Number 5, military employees are in top physical condition, resilient, and drug-free. Number 4, they understand diversity. Military employees have succeeded in a very diverse workplace. One of my messages at the VA Medical Center in San Diego was we talked about who we hire and how we hire staff and how and on. I gave them very simple criteria. I said, make our staff look like our patients. That's it. The military is very diverse. I want the staff to be diverse enough to handle and understand what the patients look like. And I want it to look like that, and that's what happened. Responsibility. Number 3, military employees know how to make decisions and take responsibility for meeting deadlines. Number 2, professionalism. Military employees have a high degree of integrity, an air of self-respect, and a sense of honor, and a good sense of humor, by the way. Number 1 reason to hire veterans, leadership. Military employees are excellent leaders and outstanding followers. Loyal, dedicated, highly motivated. These are why you bring some really good skills to the workplace. And that, along with your own resilience, is going to make you a very employable, very attractive person for employers. History. Those who are unaware of history are doomed to repeat it. I mentioned before about the relatively small number of us that are left that ever worn a uniform. Part of our story is, and after post-Vietnam, you can thank that group for fighting for a lot of these benefits now, for Agent Orange, for ex-prisoners of war. We've got the benefits from Republic Law 9737, and also the PTS. And I have been dropping D from the PTS for a long time. That is a clinical codification of the post-traumatic stress injury, which is what I think it is, not a disorder. It is a normal reaction in that normal situation, but it tends to stigmatize people. So we're fighting that. One of our employer awareness issues is how we can identify to employers that PTS, post-traumatic stress, is a normal reaction, is livable, it's not a death sentence, it's something people can overcome and live with. It's been happening in every war that's ever been fought. It's not new to Iraq and Afghanistan, but it's gotten a lot of profile these days because of of how people have misinterpreted, misunderstood it, and are afraid of hiring veterans in the workplace. So we're trying to change that perception as well. So I would encourage you in the future, 10 most important two-letter words that there are. If it is to be, that's 5. It is up to me, that's the other 5. So again, it's on you. Your dedication, your skills, resilience, and passion are going to be your ticket to future success, both for yourself, your family, and for successful job growth. While you're doing that, while you're out there making those $1 million, starting next year, right? You're having that soon? It's on the radar screen. Please help your other veterans along the way, because as you can see, we have a lot of veterans in the room today who are doing this because they have a passion to want to help veterans. That's simple. Push REBOOT. I think REBOOT is a great national program. I think it's unique to San Diego, but it ought to be something that's national. And I'm not getting paid to say that. I actually believe it. I think it's a great opportunity for people to get adjusted to civilian life again following the military. I went through it once and came back and successfully made the transition. I had 13 veterans in my family. They all went through it. Made transitions. But it's not going to come without somebody out there talking about it, pushing it, and trying to recognize it in the community for a great asset that it is. So congratulations to all the graduates, to the faculty, the staff, Admiral Froman, Maurice, the whole leadership team here. We're doing a great job of bringing this about. And your job is to go out there, push the agenda, bring veterans in that need help, because they do, and thank you again for your service. May God bless you all.